Humans, you got a lot of things. Some of them are physical things like basketballs and parking lots. Sometimes they go together like basketballs and parking lots. Sometimes they don't, like concrete and contact sports. But you give it a go, that's cool, it's your thing. Some are not physical things like daylight savings time. No one else on the planet gives a shit. We see the sun, we get up. Some of us, personally, get up before because we've had a couple fucking million years to figure out that if you get up early, you get shit done. I'm just saying, not saying. But out of all the things you got and you do and you make, the thing you got the most that us avians envy, speaking on behalf of them, which I think is about to be ironic in a second, is not your time measurements, your infrastructure, or your recreational activities. It's your words. Words, humans. Words! Words matter! Words dictate the experience. Words are how you chronicle, express, and discuss your existence on the planet to each other. Aldous Huxley wrote that words can be like x-rays if you use them properly. They will go through anything you read and you're pierced. And he wrote that using words! That idea, that concept is now playing in your mind. Whatever you were thinking about is now a sidecar idea. That concept bouncing around, and Aldous is driving your brain like a Ural motorcycle down a dirt road into whatever conclusion you'll draw later because of words. And the words he chose to write in the order he wrote them to get you there, literally piercing you and proving his point. Not to mention, but I will because I'm driving right now, the book that is from is Brave New World, which was written almost 100 years ago in 1931. And here we are right now saying those words, and those words are making you think, that's words, baby. That's power words. String a couple phonemes together, you got yourself vocabulary to communicate. And like all things you humans do, when you get something simple, it gets complicated. And that requires another thing that makes you uniquely you. And that is a word that I think, personally, you kind of forgot about lately. At least it seems that way, given your hot takes on the Odyssey, which is a series of words that were dictated 2,000 years ago. See, I can see how you get a little lost. That's why you never skip the recap. I make the time. It's important for context. And that word is nuance. It sounds expensive. Like if nuance was on the menu, you would totally pull up, oh, that sounds great, I'll have that. And then pretend like you had to piss, and then you'd use the bathroom to Google nuance to make sure it's not like frog dick or something. Nuance is a noun. That's a person, place, or thing. Don't roll your eyes. I've seen your comments on Facebook. We can see those. You know we can see those, right? It is important to me that you know that. Nuance, the noun, means a slight, subtle, or distinct variation, a difference in color, tone, meaning is a nuance. A shift in tone when speaking to convey a meaning is a nuance. Like, are you sure versus are you sure versus are you sure? Basically, nuance is nuance, humans. It's the spice, it's the sauce that makes you delicious. Not like in a way my kind is delicious, you fucking creeps, but like in a way that makes you bold, complex, mentally flavorful, interesting. Because nuance is meaning, and without meaning, it's just things. And you humans got a lot of things, so they better mean something. Otherwise, it's just taking up space. Back in 2024, you guys remember 2024? Wicked was out, Deadpool and Wolverine. We didn't know what the fuck 6'7" was, but we were about to find out. 6'7"! Execs at the AI startup company Anthropic started putting the pedal down and giving the gas to their latest thing, Project Panama. The thing about Project Panama was that in the AI wars that the executives started, by the way, just to be clear, just to provide a little nuance, it wasn't like AI was a species that was like in the trees like the Ewoks or something. The AI wars was you. That's your thing. They were teaching AI, quote, how to write well instead of, quote, mimicking low-quality internet speak, which was the next big hurdle when you ask Alexa et al. What the weather was going to be like so it stopped sounding like a robot, which it is, sounded more like a human, which it's not, so that you, the human, could feel more comfortable using the robot to do things like figure out what the weather was going to be like today while it slowly collected your data and your info to give to the company that created it to use it to sell you better AI robots to do things you didn't want to do, like open a fucking window! So, in order to teach these robots to sound more like you, humans, the company Anthropic turned to what was most precious to you, that makes you you, your words. And anyone that's ever worked for an exec knows that they don't like taking their time. Plus, there was a war on that you started. The genie and the cat are both out of the bag, fighting for supremacy or something. I don't know. I've never had a corporate job. I'm allergic to Microsoft Teams. But, same. Good. There's a support group later. We won't show up, but there's one later. But words are little. They hide everywhere and in everything. So in order to gain access to those delicious, nourishing words that AI apparently needs to eat and grow and thrive, executives at Anthropic started collecting, finding, sourcing, and bulk ordering the very ecosystems that words like to hang out and socialize, live and eat in, called books. But books are expensive because, God damn it, you gotta pay the author who wrote them. Fucking capitalism, fucking narcs. Why can't words be free? Technically they are. It is the act of writing the book and giving them meaning to tell a story that's expensive. Just to add a little nuance here, because apparently it's in short supply. Given the thread I read on why AI art is the future, when all the AI art I've seen looks like a drunk cutscene from a shitty game with more paywalls than the YouTube ripper you use to teach your AI to make your shitty AI art. So, Anthropic turned to pirating books. And something called LibGen, which is a shadow library of books, started as a way to get around Russia's censorship laws, which, like, good on you, comrade. But now it's basically Napster for literature. And those of you of a certain age are squirming right now because you know the dangers, because you remember the thrill of spelunking the virus-plagued world of pirated music. Is it going to be Seal's cover of Fly Like an Eagle from the Space Jam soundtrack? Or is it computer herpes that's going to eat your desktop from the inside out? Who knows? Dive in and quit being a little bitch. Yeah. But it wasn't enough for Anthropic to just cruise a literary LimeWire to get around the copyright shit just to teach the bots how to chat like a real boy. Nay! Using the legal loophole, kind of, called the first sale doctrine. Basically, when you buy something, you can do whatever the hell you want with it, like read it to kids at a school, or shove it up your ass to teach your colon how to read. It's all gravy, baby. That's the law. Anthropic was able to purchase huge bulk orders of books to scan into their AI models, teach their AI bot called Claude how to write more like a human. But as anyone has ever worked in an office knows, scanning fucking sucks. First, you gotta get the company desktop to talk to the scanner, which is like getting two coworkers who used to date to get over it and lock in, because the job is due to fucking tomorrow. I don't care what Simon used to be like. He's in the group. You didn't accidentally go to Milwaukee together and hook up one night. That's the thing you chose to do, Amber. And did I mention I don't care? Because it's due to fucking tomorrow. And then, blessedly, if they start working together, you got to figure out how this particular scanner works, because of course they're all different. No two are alike in style and vibe. They're more temperamental and picky than a Shih Tzu with IBS. And then you got to figure out the exact pressure amount so the pages will press and the scan doesn't look like you gave a magazine fucking shrooms. And it's off on its own journey. No, and it's 4 a.m. Work starts at 9. Then, once you get everyone talking and scanning just right, you got to play Lara Croft to figure out where on the desktop the files are going. Because like I said, the computers don't get along. So now you're tomb raiding the document folders to find the fucking file, and they're all called untitled. God damn it! This scanner is from 2007. How did it survive this long? But that did not stop Anthropic, nay. They found a bulk scanning company that used, quote, hydraulic-powered cutting machines to literally chop the spines off the works of literature, spatchcocking the fucking books into deli slices, feeding them into the scanners, and then throwing it all out like leftovers in a sausage factory. Now, how many books went in the fast food graphene grinder to make tasty nugs for chatbots? That number is hard to find out. But they were looking for bulk scanning services that could, quote, convert from 500,000 to 2 million books over a 6-month period, end quote. So it's safe to say they've been McDoing it McNuff. And all of that was to get around copyright laws. Literally feeding the concept of nuance to a bot that doesn't understand nuance, because the laws weren't nuanced enough to protect the books, But how do we, you and me, know that what they were doing to feed their bots and the food prep wasn't kosher? Who are we to judge if it was in fact bad? Because an internal memo from and to itself, Anthropic employees stated, quote, "We don't want it to be known that we are working on this." And of course not. I saw Snowpiercer. I saw Soylent Green. You don't want anyone to know that you're literally feeding books to robots. That's the kind of Brave New World that would make Aldous Huxley sue you for copyright infringement, so you'd have to pirate his book or just buy a copy of it and shred it on a microplane so your Alexa stops whining that it's fucking hungry. All money, no nuance. No wonder you dipshits on the internet are pissed and peeved that Helena Troy was black in the Odyssey movie. You never read the damn book. You just fed it to your Echo Dot because it was hangry. Excuse me, translated epic poem passed down by oral tradition. There are nuances here. So, how do we stop it? How do we make it right? How do we bring back nuance? Stop using AI shit, stop doing it, don't with it, fuck with it, AI, fucking whatever. Talk about it. Use your words. Because it's kind of up to you what kind of future you want to have, humans. We can't stop you. We're too wee and frankly delicious to do anything about it. So, use your words, humans, because that's your thing. And yeah, you got a lot of things. I just don't want to see you lose the ones that matter. I love you. Good night.
Chad the Bird, Green Mill! Our hero, Chad the Bird.
Nailed it.